Everything at Heartland feels calm on the surface. But this episode is about to show how quickly peace can crack when one event brings pressure, hope, and secrets to the front. As the ranch prepares for its big open house, everyone must face their own doubts. While trying to hold the ranch together for the world to see, the morning light spreads across Heartland like a soft reminder that today is not just another day. The ranch looks calm, almost quiet. But there is an energy under the surface, an energy that everyone can feel but no one says out loud. The open house is coming, and with it comes the weight of expectations, worries, and hopes that each person carries. It is the kind of event that should bring excitement, but instead, it stirs something deeper. Everyone knows the ranch means more than a place to gather. It is a symbol of family, legacy, and the promise that Heartland will always stand strong, no matter what challenges come their way. As the sun rises a little higher, the tension settles in quietly. It is the kind that shows up in long breaths, quick glances, and the way people move when they are trying not to show their stress. Amy feels it as she walks toward the barn. The horses sense it too, those gentle shifts in the air that only animals can truly understand. She knows the open house is important, not just to the guests who will come, but to the future of the ranch. Every small detail matters. Every moment counts. She can't afford to let anything slip. Meanwhile, Lou is already planning 10 steps ahead. The success of the event sits on her shoulders, and she refuses to let anything go wrong. She checks schedules, decorations, volunteers, everything that could make or break the day. But even with all her planning, there is something she can't control: the people around her. Their emotions, their worries, their unspoken fears. She wants everyone to work together, but she knows that pressure brings out flaws, misunderstandings, and sometimes even old wounds. Across the yard, Jack watches quietly. He has seen days like this before, days when everyone is trying so hard to be perfect that they forget what truly matters. He knows the ranch will be fine. It always is. But he also knows that the people running it need something more than a successful event. They need trust. They need unity. And today we'll test both. The stage is set. The sun is rising. The open house is coming. And Heartland is about to show once again that the biggest challenges don't always come from the outside. They come from within the hearts of the people who love this place the most. The closer the open house gets, the more Heartland shifts from a quiet ranch into a buzzing center of activity. Every corner seems to hold a different task that needs attention. And every person has a role that suddenly feels twice as important. There is a sense of pride in the air, but also a thin layer of worry, the kind that reminds everyone how much this place means to the community. Today isn't just about showing the ranch to visitors, it's about proving that Heartland is still strong, still growing, and still capable of bringing people together. As workers move across the yard, setting up tables, brushing down horses, and checking equipment, Amy steps back to take in the scene. She knows the ranch inside and out, but today it feels different. It feels like the world is watching. She can't help but think about the families who will visit, the kids who will meet the horses for the first time, and the stories that will be shared about the place she calls home. There's beauty in that, but also pressure. If anything goes wrong, even something small, the whole event could unravel. And Amy, with her calm heart and steady hands, doesn't want to let anyone down, Lou. On the other hand, moves through the ranch like a spark of energy. Her clipboard is full, her mind even fuller, and every detail seems to demand her personal approval. She checks banners, the welcome booth, the parking area, nothing escapes her. She wants the open house to shine. Not just for the guests, but for the future of the ranch. Lou believes events like this shape the way people see Heartland, and in her eyes, Heartland must always appear warm, capable, and inspiring. But beneath her determination lies a quiet fear. What if something goes wrong that she can't fix? What if her best isn't enough? And then there is Jack, watching all of this unfold with a blend of patience and quiet concern. He knows that days like this always bring surprises, some small, some heavy. He senses the stress in the air, the way people hurry a little faster, speak a little sharper, and forget to breathe. Jack understands that an open house is never just an event. It is a test of teamwork, trust, and the strength of the bonds that hold the ranch together. Heartland has faced storms, losses, and changes over the years. But today, the challenge is different. It's softer, quieter, but just as real. The stage is almost set. Visitors will soon walk through the gates. Smiles will be worn, horses will be shown, and Heartland will stand proudly for all to see. But beneath the polished surface, emotions are shifting, ready to rise when least expected. The open house may be a celebration, but it also has the power to reveal cracks that no one saw coming as the open house draws closer. Each person at Heartland carries their own story into the day. The ranch may be shared by everyone, but the pressure feels different for each heart involved. And in this episode, those quiet, personal struggles begin to rise to the surface. Even while everyone tries to smile for the guests, for Amy, the day holds more weight than she first admits. On the outside, she seems steady, moving from horse to horse with calm hands and a focused mind. But inside, she worries about something deeper, the responsibility of showing visitors the beauty of the bond she has with horses. People often look at her as if she can fix anything, as if her gift never falters. But today, she feels the pressure to live up to that image. She knows that one meaningful moment with a horse could inspire a visitor, maybe even change their life, and she wants that. At the same time, she fears that if anything goes wrong, the blame will fall on her shoulders. The open house brings excitement, but it also awakens her self-doubt. Lou, meanwhile, is caught in a storm of her own expectations. She wants everything perfect, not just good, not just successful, but flawless. She believes this event represents Heartland's future, and she refuses to let the ranch fall short. But the more she pushes herself, the more she begins to clash with the people around her. Small disagreements start to rise, not because anyone wants conflict, but because stress pulls words out sharper than they were meant to be. Lou tells herself she can handle anything, yet even she feels her resolve shaking beneath the pressure. Jack stands at a distance, watching with eyes that have seen decades of Heartland's triumphs and struggles. He reads people better than they realize. He sees the tightness in Amy's shoulders, the restless pace in Lou's steps. He knows what they're carrying, even if they don't say it aloud. Jack wants to help, but he also knows that some lessons can't be handed over. They have to be lived. Still, he stays close enough to step in if the cracks begin to spread too far. Other familiar faces at the ranch find themselves swept up in the moment as well. Helpers rush to set up displays, riders prepare their horses, and volunteers try to keep up with the growing list of tasks. Each person adds their own pulse to the rhythm of the day. Some feel proud, some nervous, and some just hope they don't mess things up. Together, all these emotions swirl through Heartland like wind across an open field. The ranch stands strong, but the people inside it are quietly being tested. Everyone is trying to do their best. Everyone wants the day to succeed. But under the weight of responsibility, even the strongest hearts can tremble as the open house setup moves forward. A strange shift settles over the ranch, subtle at first, then stronger, like a quiet warning carried on the wind. It starts with small things, the kind most people wouldn't notice, but at Heartland, every detail matters. A misplaced tool here, a late delivery there, a small misunderstanding that turns into a sharp exchange. Nothing dramatic on its own, yet together they begin to pull at the edges of the day. Loosening the calm everyone worked so hard to maintain, Amy feels the first wave of tension when one of the horses senses. It's the nervous energy around the yard. Horses mirror the emotions of the people near them, and this one picks up every anxious breath. It dances sideways, refusing to settle, and Amy realizes she must calm not just the animal, but herself. She speaks gently, moves slowly, but deep down, she knows the pressure of the day is affecting her more than she expected. If the horses are unsettled now, what will happen when a crowd arrives? Lou faces her own challenge when a key part of the setup doesn't go according to plan. A vendor arrives late, blaming traffic. Decorations she ordered are not the right color. Someone accidentally rearranges the seating layout she planned so carefully. Each problem chips away at her confidence, and though she tries to stay composed, frustration begins to leak into her voice. She snaps instructions she didn't mean to snap, and the people around her start feeling the weight of her stress. Lou prides herself on staying in control, but today control feels like sand slipping through her fingers. Tension also finds Jack, though he carries it quietly. He watches the younger ones move faster, talk harder, push themselves too far. He sees the exhaustion forming behind their eyes. He knows the ranch has weathered much bigger problems, but emotional storms can be just as dangerous as physical ones. Jack begins to sense that if things continue like this, the open house could turn into something very different from what they intended, something painful. But he also knows that if he steps in too soon, he might only make the pressure worse. And then there are the smaller moments that add up. A gate that won't latch, a horse trailer that arrives late, two volunteers disagreeing on simple directions. These flickers of conflict ripple through the ranch, each one tightening the atmosphere just a little more. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but today it feels as if the people who normally fix things are the ones quietly falling apart. Nobody says it out loud, but they all feel it, the sense that something unexpected is coming. Not a disaster, not a crisis, but a moment that could shake the day and reveal more than anyone is ready to face. The open house may look bright and welcoming from the outside, but inside, the pressure is building, and sooner or later, it will demand to be released. Beneath the noise of preparation, beneath the movement of people and horses, there is a softer sound at Heartland today, an emotional pulse that runs through every person on the ranch. It is the kind of feeling that doesn't show up in conversations or tasks, but it sits quietly inside their thoughts, shaping every decision they make. The open house may look like a simple community event, but for the people who live here, it stirs fears, memories, and hopes that they rarely speak about. For Amy, this quiet emotional weight comes from the memories of everything she has fought through to stand where she is now. The ranch has carried her through loss, love, and growth. She wants today to honor that journey, but she also fears failing the place that saved her. Her heart is steady, yet she feels a small ache that wonders if she is still enough, still capable, still the Amy people believe in. When she looks at the horses, she finds comfort. They remind her that connection doesn't need perfection. But even so, her nerves whisper doubts she cannot shake. Lou's emotional struggle is different. She has always been the planner, the fixer, the one who tries to keep everything and everyone together. But trying to hold up the ranch and her own expectations at the same time creates a pressure she rarely admits. What she hides behind her determined smile is a fear that she is not doing enough. Not for Heartland, not for her family, not for herself. She believes success will prove her strength, but deep inside, she longs for something much simpler, reassurance that she doesn't have to carry everything alone. Jack, with his quiet wisdom, senses these emotional tides long before the others do. He knows that the hardest battles are the ones fought inside the heart. He sees how Amy pushes herself too hard. He sees how Lou tries to be unbreakable, and though he wishes he could lift their burdens, he understands that sometimes people must face their own shadows before they can fully step into the light. Jack's heart holds its own tenderness to a deep love for this ranch and the people who call it home. He worries about them, even when he doesn't show it. Around them, the rest of the ranch feels the emotional currents as well. Helpers move a little more gently. Volunteers offer quiet smiles. Even the horses react to the hidden tension, lowering their heads as if trying to calm the humans instead of the other way around. Heartland has always been a place where emotions rise to the surface, not to break people, but to guide them toward truth and healing. What makes this day special is not the decorations, or even the event itself. It is the unspoken truth that everyone at Heartland is learning something about themselves. Stress does not just reveal weaknesses, it reveals needs, desires, and the deepest parts of who they are. And while no one speaks these feelings aloud, the ranch holds them gently, reminding each person that they are not alone. As the final moments before the open house approach, the emotional undercurrent becomes the silent thread tying everyone together. The challenges may be heavy, but so is the love that keeps Heartland standing. And soon, those emotions will shape moments they never expected. The final hour before the open. House feels like the world has pressed fast forward. Everything moves quickly, almost too quickly, yet each moment carries a strange beauty. Heartland becomes a living montage full of motion, color, sound, an emotion layered together like pieces of a story rushing toward its climax. The camera would glide across the ranch, catching small fragments of life that say more than words ever could. A hand tying a rope, a brush sliding through a horse's mane, boots kicking up dust as volunteers hurry between tasks. Every detail feels important, not because of what it is, but because of what it represents: effort, teamwork, and a quiet hope that the day will come together. Even if no one feels fully ready, Amy moves through the barn like a steady anchor in a rising storm. She checks each horse, making sure they're calm, fed, and comfortable. Her fingers run along their coats with a mix of love and worry. She whispers to them, sharing her fears in a voice so soft only they can hear. The horses respond with gentle nudges, reminding her that trust is not built by being perfect, but by showing up. The montage captures her smile, a small one, but really as she finds strength in the animals she cares for. Across the yard, Lou rushes between stations, checking signs, confirming schedules, and offering last-minute instructions. Her movements are sharp, precise, full of purpose. But for a brief second, the montage slows to catch her expression, a silent moment where she closes her eyes and takes a breath, steadying herself before she returns to the chaos. It's a reminder that even the strongest leaders need a pause, heartbeat of stillness before they carry on. Jack watches everything unfolding with a calm presence that grounds the scene. The montage shows him tightening a bolt, fixing a loose board, or quietly encouraging someone who looks overwhelmed. He doesn't speak much, but his actions fill the screen with warmth. Jack embodies Heartland's history, its resilience, and its quiet promise that no matter how chaotic life becomes, the ranch will always find its way back to balance. The camera then sweeps out wider, giving a sense of the entire ranch working as one. Colorful banners flutter in the wind. Tables are set with care. Kids practicing their roles laugh nervously. A rider adjusts her saddle while another volunteers to help. Even the horses in the background contribute their own presence. Standing tall and calm, as if they understand the importance of the day, music builds in the background, soft at first, then stronger, mirroring the growing anticipation. Heartland seems to breathe in and out with every cut, every shot, every shift in light. The ranch feels alive, preparing itself just as much as the people who care for it. And finally, the montage slows once more as the gates creak open, sunlight spilling across the entrance path. This moment doesn't need dialogue. It only needs the quiet sense that everything is about to begin, that all the work, all the emotions, all the pressure has led to this single breath before the world steps in. The open house hasn't started yet, but in this moment, Heartland stands ready. The moment the gates open, a wave of new energy flows into Heartland. Visitors step onto the property with bright eyes and excited voices, unaware of the storm of emotions that shaped every corner of the ranch before their arrival. From a distance, everything looks perfect even. But beneath that polished surface lies the journey each person has taken to make this day possible. And that is what gives this episode its power. The ranch begins to fill with families, friends, and curious guests. Children point at horses with wide smiles. Parents take photos near the barn. Volunteers guide people to different displays. Their earlier tensions softened by the sense of purpose that now moves through the air. Heartland feels warm again, almost glowing. As if the ranch itself is proud to welcome so many new faces, Amy steps forward for her first demonstration. Her heart still beating fast, but now with a confidence she didn't expect. The horses respond beautifully, as if they have waited for this moment just as long as she has. Watching her, it becomes clear that Amy's strength doesn't come from perfection. It comes from her ability to trust in herself, in the horses, and in the bond that brings people and animals together. Lou stands near the entrance, greeting guests with a smile that finally reaches her eyes. The stress she carried all morning begins to melt away as she sees families enjoying the event she worked so hard to create. She realizes that even if everything didn't go exactly as planned, The heart behind the effort mattered more than flawless execution. For a brief moment, she allows herself to breathe, to be proud, to simply enjoy the day. Jack watches the scene from a distance, leaning against a fence with the peaceful expression of someone who has seen many seasons of life unfold. He knows that the real success of the day isn't measured by attendance or applause.